Hey Gemini, what's up gang? I hope everybody is well. We're gonna go ahead and look into what Spirit's message is for you. So Spirit could say anything to you right now. What would it say? If that's something that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That will have all the information that you need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this. We have the rushing hearts that came out. So I feel like Spirit would say to you that you have a lot of spiritual support. You have a lot more support than maybe you realize too. So for those of you that feel like you are very abundantly protected and you have a lot of ancestral guidance and messages from your guides coming through, you still don't have any idea how supported that you actually are. I also feel like Spirit would say that it's always there with you, even on your hardest days, especially on your hardest days and on your darkest days. Like it is there and it wants you to know that you're never alone. There's something very significant about that. I also feel like Spirit would say with this card that you have some physical support coming in. This could be new friends. This could be meeting somebody romantically. It could definitely be a new person being introduced to your family. Maybe somebody in your workspace that you really get along with and you vibe with. But either way, Spirit wants you to know that you have some physical support that is going to be showing up in your life soon. I am getting energy of like keep calm and carry on type of energy from you guys where it's like, you know, you don't really complain or whine a lot and you maybe sometimes would like some help or you would like some support, but I feel like a lot of you have maybe resigned yourself to the fact that that might just not be something that's possible for you, or that maybe you were just meant to live a solitary life, which yes, I do feel like a lot of you are meant to have a solitary life, but that doesn't mean that you're not meant to have connection. And in fact, we need connection as humans. I'm a firm believer in that. We are pack animals, in my personal opinion. And even though we can definitely benefit from some solitude and being on our own, we also can benefit from having the right energies around us. And I do feel like that's one of the messages that Spirit would love to say to you, is that you are going to find the right quote unquote people for your pack or for your tribe, okay? I also feel like Spirit would say to you that if you have passed on loved ones, even if they're pets, right? Doesn't have to just be human. Like these energies are around you. These energies are surrounding you right now. Especially as we come into the holiday season, it can be very tough for people, especially when you've lost people or you've lost a lot of people and it feels like there's not very many people left around you. It can really be tough. So I don't know, that's a message coming through for somebody that you have a lot of family that are in spirit form around you. I'm also getting the message here, and this is not for everybody, so take it as it resonates. If you lost a pet recently or not so recently, I do feel like it's like you're getting the go-ahead to get another pet, okay? Some of you have held off on getting a pet because maybe you wanted to give it proper or appropriate time of mourning, or maybe you thought, you know, there's no other pet that'll be like this pet, so I don't want to bond with another animal. Some of you maybe just felt like, you know what, I don't want to do this all over again, right? I don't want to get a pet, nurture it for a decade or so, and then it passes on and I'm heartbroken again. This is an unfortunate cycle of life, right? Everything and everybody that you know will be gone one day. I'm not trying to be morbid, okay? I'm just saying it's the truth. But this doesn't mean that we should stop ourselves from enjoying life, loving people, having pets, things like that, okay? So for those of you who have kind of wanted a pet, but you're just like, I don't know if I'm ready to go through that roller coaster again, you're getting the go ahead, okay? I'm specifically saying a puppy or a kitten, but take it as it resonates, okay? All right, let's get a message here for my Gemini gang. Spirit, what would you say to Gemini gang if you were in front of them right now, speaking to them one-on-one? What would you say to them? What would you say to Gemini gang, please? What would you say to Gemini gang if you were speaking to them right now? Guys, I do hope the audio is good. I'm in my new office. My daughter has flown the coop. She has left and moved out. It was bound to happen, right? And so I decided to turn her room into an office. And so it's a different like audio sound. Like the acoustics in here feel a little different to me. So hopefully you guys can still hear me good. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so Spirit, if you were sitting in front of Gemini right now, what message would you say to Gemini gang? What message would you say to Gemini gang, please? We have the oyster. I think we saw the oyster recently, didn't we? I don't know. I do so many readings, I can't remember, but I think we did see it. This is one of my favorite cards though. Okay, this talks about you having a gift, you having potential, you having something precious, like a treasure inside of you. And it's not something that everybody gets to get. In fact, I do say this all the time, that Spirit cloaks its people, right? Spirit doesn't want people to see all of our greatness and everything that we have to offer, because there's people that would take advantage of that. Spirit wants the people that come into your life to be there for authentic reasons, to be there because they care about you as a person, not because of what you can offer or what you can give to people, right? So you do have this treasure, and maybe it's not very noticeable from the outside. Like maybe from the outside looking in, people wouldn't think that you have that much to offer or that you're that valuable, sad to say, right? But once they get to know you, it's like you open up and there's something beautiful inside, you know? And so Spirit really would come through to say that you are beautiful, Gemini, inside and out, but especially inside. You have developed some kind of treasure or pearl within you. And of course, the pearl is created either through a grain of sand or some kind of bacteria. I forget which one it is, but it's basically an irritant. So basically, your hard times or the not so great things that have happened in your life have actually turned into something beautiful, and you've made the best or the most out of situations, okay? I just always think when I see oysters, like, who was the first person that looked at this thing and thought, you know what? I'm gonna pop that thing open and I'm gonna eat it. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks so dang, like, not edible and not good from the outside. You know, maybe some of you guys really like seafood. Maybe you really like oysters. Maybe you are going to be oyster, I don't know, harvesting, hunting, whatever people do. Yeah, also oysters are an aphrodisiac, and then we do have the rushing hearts. So some of you guys could, you know, Spirit could want to say to you that there's about to be a little connection that's about to come in from a distance into your life, okay? Let's see what we have here, though. I gotta find the water element. Okay, there we are. Let's find the oyster. Okay, oyster. It says, patient, a secret keeper, and hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they can achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is the oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it that you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, and masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, and clams up. To bring into balance, share something. So I feel like Spirit's also saying that, like, your vibe is your tribe. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. Like, it's the energy of, like, people who are meant to hear your song, people who are meant to read your story, people who are meant to, you know, be in your circle or be around you. They are going to find the value and they are going to come towards you, right? But not everybody is going to see the vision or the dream. Not everybody is going to find value in what you have to offer. Okay. So, you know, sometimes because we can worry about the response or the reaction, we will hold off on sharing certain things or letting ourselves be seen or heard, right? This is like perfect for, like, you know, artists, creatives, entrepreneurs, people that are like, well, why would anybody buy my candles? Why would anybody want to listen to my music? Or I don't know if I should write that book, you know, who would care about my story? The people who will, right? And you can't really worry about that. So there could be something here with the creative process for some of you guys of, like, the why you're doing something, and, you know, what result or what outcome you're going to get really not being the main focus. That is for some of you guys. Also, if you're just shy about opening up to people or somebody, if you're just not sure if somebody is going to accept you, or if, you know, you have feelings, deeper feelings that you want to express, but you're just not sure, Spirit is saying that these feelings are possibly going to be received a lot better than what you would imagine, you know? So don't keep yourself clammed up, closed up because you're afraid that you won't be understood. Allow yourself to shine authentically because you do have something very beautiful inside that's worth seeing, okay? Alrighty then, let's put the oyster right there. Are you still on camera? Yes, you are. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pull from the birds. This is probably going to be a heavy oracle reading, but I will clarify with tarot if I see fit, okay? So, Spirit, if you were sitting in front of Gemini right now, okay, what messages would you have for them? If you were sitting in front of them right now, what messages would you have for them? Cardinals could be significant because the cardinal card was really making a fuss. Somebody's ancestor might definitely give them signs through cardinals, okay? All right, what do we have here for Gemini gang? If you were able to say anything to Gemini right now, Spirit, what would you say? Okay, we have the ostrich. It says, the choice is clear for you now, so follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. So yeah, it's like, and that's interesting because I didn't really pick that up from the intuitive message, but I definitely can see that for an interpretation of like following your heart, following your passions, following your desires, right? Maybe some of you guys with this oyster energy, you held yourself back or you kept yourself away because you weren't really sure how you felt or you know, what the truth was of the situation. But what Spirit is saying is that you can no longer bury your head in the sand when it comes to this. You know what the truth is. You have the wisdom and you feel the truth in your heart. So it's okay for you to go towards that. It's okay for you to open up. It's okay for you to share your work or, you know, let yourself jump out of your comfort zone here. It is definitely okay for you to follow your heart, okay? I do want to make this reading a little short and sweet, so I'm sorry if I feel like I'm breezing through, but yeah, okay? We have the Gross. It says, embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. So if Spirit was in front of you right now, Gemini, Spirit would say to keep it moving like Susan, right? I feel like Spirit would say to get yourself moving too. If you've been very sedentary or stagnant for whatever reason, like maybe you work on a computer all day and you've just been sitting in your desk or sitting, you know, in one area for too long, get up, move around, you know, do some jumping jacks or stretch or something like that. Go outside, go for a walk. There's something about that, like getting your body moving, because this is actually going to help the energy flow. Also, for some of you who want to dance or you like to do some kind of like performative art or, you know, something like that, I feel like this is going to work out very well for you and you don't need to be shy or worry about other people thinking that you're weird or you're goofy, okay? I do feel like Spirit is encouraging you to listen to some music right now. Of course, music that is good for you, right? Not music that's going to talk about things that are low vibrational or whatever. But, you know, yeah, I feel like there's an energy of like, get up, dance, move, okay? Embrace this because this is going to help you access the things that were locked before. So you might have some energy blockages in your body, and you might need to work through that. There's an exercise that I learned from the Gem Goddess. I'm not sure if she's the one that came up with this, probably not, but she's the one that I heard it from. So I want to credit her and shout her out. An amazing reader. She does pick a cards and she's also Gemini gang. I've learned so much about manifestation from her. But anyways, she talks about doing a chakra check-in where basically you close your eyes and you focus on each chakra point from the crown all the way to the root or root all the way to the crown, however. And each chakra point that you go through, you pay attention to what in your body relaxes when you focus on that chakra point. And it's like, so for instance, let's say that you get to your throat chakra and your jaw relaxes. It's like that could be a signal that maybe you're not speaking your truth enough, or maybe you need to focus on that area a little bit more. So there could be something like that because I am getting the energy of like energy blockages or something. And movement is going to help this out. All right. All right, what else do we have here, Spirit? If you could say anything to Gemini gang currently, what would you say? We have the owl. Your intuition is correct, so follow your inner wisdom without fail. It's interesting because we have follow the wisdom, and then we have follow your inner wisdom, and then on this card we have to access your highest guidance. It's like, yeah, I feel like Spirit would say to you that you have all the answers you need inside of you, you know, and your intuition is correct. So if you've been like, I don't know if maybe this is just wishful thinking, or if maybe this is just my ego, or if I can trust what I'm feeling right now, like, I don't know. Spirit is saying, yes, you can. Your intuition is absolutely on point. It's just up to you to listen to it, right? Like I say all the time that our intuition is like our personal GPS system, but you can have the GPS system going and not listen to it. Like GPS could say, hey, turn left up here. And you could be like, nah, I think I'm going to go right. Like just because we have intuition doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to pan out that way. It's up to us to work in tandem with it and make the decisions that will help lead us in the direction our intuition is trying to. So yeah, Spirit is saying your intuition is correct. Okay, and you can follow it. I'm not going to keep this one, but Eagle, you are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. Yes, you're learning how to trust. You're learning how to surrender. You're learning how to feel connected with spirit. And because of this, you're reaching new spiritual heights. Like, I do feel like there could be a gift or something that's unlocking for you. I am picking this up with the oyster. It feels like your intuition is just like unlocking to a new level here. Let's get some more out here. Spirit, if you could say anything to Gemini gang currently, if you were in front of them talking to them, what would you say? We have shake, release, heal, and move on. Card number 27. I'm seriously getting that for that Goose energy because it's making me feel like, you know, there could be, again, stagnant energy that's held in your body, and this is causing energy blockages or even like physical ailments, pain, you know? So there's something that you need to shake off. There's something you need to release, heal, and move on from it. All right. Okay. Yeah. Look, on the bottom of the deck, we have see beyond your past, card number 23. Exactly. Because you don't live there no more. Okay. And when we're looking in the rearview mirror or the side mirrors or whatever, while we're driving forward and we're not looking where we need to, which is where we're going, we can crash our car. Or miss a turn or whatever, you know? So Spirit is really saying here that you're going to need to stop looking at the past, let go, and move forward. Now, this doesn't mean that you're necessarily like hung up on the past, but you could be judging your future or where you're at right now by your past, right? Like, so for example, well, I did this in the past and it didn't work out for me. So am I really sure that I want to do it again? Even though my intuition is telling me, give it a go. Am I sure that this is something that I want to do because it didn't work out for me last time? Spirit's saying you can't judge where you're going by where you've been, right? All you can do is take the wisdom that you've acquired and you can just hope for the best, right? We have focus on the big picture, card number 19. So yeah, Spirit wants you to focus on the big picture. And when I see this card, it always makes me think of like not getting caught up in the little tiny minute details. Because when we do that, it's so easy to get overwhelmed or even get distracted or off track because we're just focused on all these little things possibly that we can't control or variables that really don't make a difference, you know? It's like somebody who's created an amazing album, but they can't get the album in cover in the color that they want, or they can't find the photographer that they want to shoot the pictures and stuff. And so they're like, oh, this whole album's going to be crap. Or they're so micro like managing that or focused on that they're forgetting that this whole album is amazing. And while yes, album covers are important, it's really the contents inside that matter, you know? So there's something there with that about, you know, zooming out to see something from a higher perspective or a bigger perspective and seeing, again, this feels like looking at why you're doing something and not necessarily the outcome that it's going to give you, you know? What else do we have here? What would you say to Gemini if you were right in front of them, Spirit? What would you say to Gemini gang? Oh, okay. We have keep trying, card number 4. Spirit would tell you to keep trying. Spirit would say, now is not the time to give up on your dreams. Now is not the time to give up on your goals. Now is not the time to call it quits. But also to remember that you have everything that you need within you to create the desired outcome, right? We see that with the oyster. But also this card, keep trying, it talks about somebody who is trying to heal. And they keep trying to find ways externally to do that, right? So they are like, well, you know, trying to find ways they can use the starfish to heal. And then finally they take a bite out of the starfish thinking that maybe that's what they need to do is ingest some of the starfish and then they can heal. And then it doesn't work, but they sit back and they watch the starfish regenerate itself and regrow its limb back, right? And then that's when the epiphany hits them that, oh, I can heal myself. Right? So there's something here where it's like Spirit wants you to know that whatever you're trying to achieve or whatever you're trying to do, you can do yourself. You have everything, the tools within you to make this happen. And you don't need anything necessarily externally. Okay? So please keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm just getting ultimately like the keep trying message here with this, like whatever it is, keep trying. All right. Destiny path, card number 35. I'm not going to keep it, but I will talk about it. Yes, I do feel like you are on a destined path. And of course, we know with destiny, we do have some kind of choice in regards to it. So it is ultimately up to us what destiny we create, but something is destined for you, you know? And don't let yourself get too caught up about the choices, because I know that can give people anxiety of like, oh, well, what if I make the wrong choice? You're not going to with the ostrich energy, right? Remember, Spirit is saying that you inherently know what is best for you. You have that intuition. The choice is very clear. You just need to follow your heart. Anything else from this deck before we put it up? Anything else from this deck before we put it up? What you would say to Gemini gang. We have abundance, card number 9 with face your fear, card number 38 on the bottom of the deck. Yes, okay, you have a very abundant timeline that's going to be opening up for you. You just need to face your fear and go for it, right? Don't be afraid to, again, step out of the box. Don't be afraid to let yourself be seen here. Don't be afraid to, dare to believe or dream. Dare to count yourself in instead of counting yourself out. You have something amazing that the world is ready to see, Gemini, okay? And this is going to lead you to a very abundant path. All right, let's keep it moving like Susan. I want to pull some tea leaves, I think. Okay, Spirit, if you were in front of Gemini gang right now, okay? What would you say to Gemini if you were in front of them right now? What would you say? We have the 4-leaf clover coming out. Great good fortune. You win. Extreme turn in fortune. And then it says you will get exactly what you go after. Tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. Yeah, I feel like Spirit is, again, really wanting to highlight that abundant future that is about to open up for you. You're going to get exactly what you go after. You're going to get exactly what you want. Okay? It's just up to you to take those actions and make those choices in regards to that. And Spirit is also saying that expect an extreme turn in your fortune for the better. Like, this is that energy of the oyster, right? We pop the oyster open and oh my God, there's juicy meat in there, or maybe even a pearl. Okay. And it's like, for some of you guys, you might not be expecting this turn of fate and this turn of fortune here, but it's going to feel like, there's some kind of like light that's shining down on you. That's the energy that I'm getting here. Yeah, some of you guys are about to move into a very prosperous period, one that is going to set you up for a while. Like, some of you, I don't know, I don't normally say this because I don't want to be all extreme and unrealistic, but for some of you, you're meant to be millionaires in this lifetime, and you will. So I don't know, that is definitely for somebody here, but there's going to be something to celebrate moving forward, and Spirit would say that to you. Like, there's so much that has not even manifested into your reality, yet. You have no idea. Like, if you just only could see a glimpse into your future, like Spirit's like saying, like, if you could see what I see, okay, you would be completely mystified, and I'm getting stupefied. Okay, maybe some of you guys like that song by Disturbed. Excellent band. But yeah, you would be stupefied if you could see like what is ahead for you, is what Spirit is saying. So don't count yourself out yet, and don't clam up, and don't hide yourself away. Let yourself be seen. You never know who's watching. You never know who's paying attention. You never know what opportunities are going to awaken and arise. What would you say to Gemini gang, Spirit, if you were in front of them right now? What would you say to Gemini gang? What is this? Something popped. We have a younger woman. I'm not going to actually put this down on the board. I'll put it right here. But I do feel like Spirit could say that for some of you, a younger woman is very significant. Okay. This could be a daughter. This could be a friend. It could be a lover. It could be anybody. But a younger woman could be significant. I also feel like, because when I think of women and divination, I think of the divine feminine. And when I think of that divine feminine, I think of creation and manifestation. And so I feel like with the younger woman, Spirit could also want to say to you that some of your manifestations are still young, right? They haven't developed yet. Some of your abilities haven't developed yet, but they're going to. Like, you have a lot of untapped potential, okay? All right, what else? Oh, that's crazy. On the bottom of the deck, I didn't even notice the nest. Yes, untapped potential with them eggs. Okay, Spirit, if you were in front of Gemini gang right now, what would you say to them if you were in front of them right now? Oh, okay, we have 2 coming out, and I'm going to keep them. Bottom of the deck, we have the bat. So we have the frying pan, trouble, accusations, feeling the pressure, and someone may be stirring the pot. And then we have the whale, lacking clarity over stressing. It's going to turn out amazing, and a great worry over nothing. And the bat, of course, says sabotage, the art of war, up all night plotting, take care, enemies are working against you. Oh, excuse me. Got all burpy for a second. Y'all know that means some purging is about to happen. The great purge is something that's coming through. So I feel Like Spirit wants you to take care, because yes, you do have enemies. Yes, you do have haters. We know, we hear about it all the time, right? But I feel like there's a strong message coming through with this whale, because the whale is saying, you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about these haters. You don't have to worry about these people that want to try to expose you or accuse you or sabotage you, right? You are going to be abundant regardless. You're going to get the things that you want regardless. Okay, so there's a strong message coming out with that of, yes, Spirit would say to you, yes, absolutely, you do have people that are possibly working against you or that don't want to see you succeed, but you're going to succeed anyways. Okay, also with the frying pan, it does say feeling the pressure here. Hold on, sorry about that, I'm back. Yeah, so with feeling the pressure here, it's making me feel like some of you guys, you are feeling the pressure, right? Some of you could be feeling the pressure to perform, to make a decision, to let something go, to heal, to see something in a different way, right? To create some kind of abundance in your life, to get to a certain point. You could be feeling a lot of pressure on your shoulders right now. Spirit is saying that it's all going to turn out amazing, basically, right? And the whale is one of those cards where it's like, when we look back, right? In hindsight, we go, oh wow, I really didn't need to stress as much as I did. Right? Like, that's my bad, you know? And I feel like that's something that Spirit wants to say to you, is like, you really don't need to stress. You probably will, but you really don't need to stress, because everything is going to work out for you. Okay, let's get one more, and we're going to put it over here just to kind of like even this out a little bit. Spirit, what would you say to Gemini gang if you were in front of them currently? What would you say to them if you were in front of them right now? What would you say to oh, that's too many, but I do want to note that the nest card is showing its face again. So for those of you that are worried about your nest, right, your home, your foundation, your stability, Spirit, I feel like Spirit would say there's nothing to worry about here. Things are going to turn out better than what you could imagine here. The angel, that is crazy. I almost said it, but I didn't. I really wish I would have said it, because it would have been so freaking awesome. But I saw a glimpse of the angel while I was shuffling, and it was reminding me of the spiritual support message that we got in the very beginning. So that's so freaking funny it came out. Damn, I really got to start just saying it instead of not saying it. Because y'all have been like, whoa, right? Because sometimes these synchronicities be crazy. Also, another synchronicity, the owl on the bottom of the deck. Intuition, psychic, innate knowledge, good advice from a wise person. Yes, some of you guys definitely have a lot of spiritual support, as I said, and you're being given intuitive messages. Also, if you're seeing owls in specific, like that's a very specific confirmation, but it is for somebody, okay? So the angel says spiritual guides, signs, spiritual protection, spiritual guidance and protection from harm, and light a candle. So if you have an altar, make sure that you're cleaning your altar, maintaining it, lighting incense, lighting candles, offering water or whatever is valuable to you, okay? Because you definitely have ancestral support here. Also, the protection from harm is really highlighted here, especially with the frying pan and the bat and all that energy that we saw over here. I do feel like Spirit wants you to know that you are being protected and you are being led. So again, you don't really have to worry about things, but it's in our human nature to worry. So I'm not gonna be like, you don't really have to, because you probably will, right? Let's get some more out here. Spirit, what would you say to Gemini gang if you were in front of them right now? We have attraction, card number 34. Yeah, I feel like you are attracting a lot of opportunity towards you. You really are. Like, you are in peak manifestation energy right now. You might not feel like it, but that's why it's important to maintain your energy and try to vibrate as high as possible. And vibrating high goes way beyond just thinking good thoughts, thinking positive thoughts. It's like creating a reality around you where you feel that positivity, right? Acting as if, right? The law of assumption. So I'm assuming that I'm going to be wealthy, so I'm going to live like I'm wealthy. Not in the means of like I'm going to spend all this money and drain my bank account, but like I'm not going to stress about my bills, right? I'm not going to worry about little things that pop up financially, because I don't have to. I'm wealthy, right? Everything is taken care of. So it's really kind of getting into that vibration that's going to help you with your manifestations. And I do feel like Spirit is saying that you are manifesting right now. Also, with the communication on the bottom of the deck, card number 2, I love the little peas, because it reminds me of like 2 peas in the pod, which is also the name of my podcast. But also, that's like when we say 2 peas in the pod, like you get along really well with somebody. I do feel like there is somebody here. we've been picking up on somebody in the collective recently, but you know, there's so many different Geminis that are watching me. Some of y'all are married, some of y'all are single, some of y'all are in situationships. It's hard to kind of nail down a love message that resonates with everybody. But for those of you who have really been wanting somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can connect with and feel like you are on the same page with this person, there's a strong attraction, magnetic attraction towards each other. Spirit is saying that energy is around you and it is a possibility for you right now. And there could even be some communication coming in. Okay. All right. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? Also, with 34, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know. I just got a very quick message. 7 is a number of spiritual lessons. So shout out to my Life Path 7 gang. Okay. Y'all already know it's a hard life. Okay. But somebody has to live it. And we are here to learn the spiritual lessons. It just is what it is. But I feel like there's something here that you've been learning from past lives and you're finally mastering it this lifetime. And it could be that you are attracting your reality. You could have lived that several lifetimes. Like there's all this potential for you to have what you desire, but maybe you just didn't believe it was possible. In this lifetime, you're finally starting to believe, no, I am, right? I am. And so I already is, basically. And this is really helping you, okay? What else do we have here for Gemini gang? What would you say if you were right in front of them, Spirit? What would you say? We have healing, card number 37. Yes, you are healing, okay? And that is part of that shake, release, heal, and move on card. And healing is not linear. Healing is not just black and white. Healing is a spectrum of colors, right? And a spectrum of feelings and, you know, levels. You can be completely feeling like you're healed and over it one day, and the next day you can be super angry. And then the next day you could be sad, and the next day you could be feeling fine again, right? So don't try to put your healing into a box or an ideal of like, this is what it should look like. Or if like, say I'm still healing 2 years later from something, maybe I'm obsessed, maybe I need to just, you know, get therapy or move on. I mean, I definitely suggest therapy for everybody. Everybody should have therapy, even if you don't feel like you need it, because it's a good thing. But it's like there's nothing necessarily wrong with you because you're not where you think that you should be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, right? Life is not a competition, a race, or anything like that. It's just an experience. And so at any given moment, even when we don't feel like it, we are actually where we're supposed to be on our path. Let's get one more from this deck here. What would you say to Gemini gang if you were right in front of them? We have victory, card number 44. Okay. I'm hearing, I got a new attitude. So I don't know, for some of you guys, it's like you have a new attitude and this is bringing this victory in, or you have a victory that's coming in. Yeah, there's like some kind of crown that you're about to receive, guys. I feel like a huge opportunity, level up, blessing coming in, maybe some recognition to a level that you've never experienced before, but there's definitely victory here. Also, they're giving me Aries energy because I see the symbol on this card. And Aries is my north node. And so you could be being victorious in whatever your north node is. It doesn't have to be Aries, but I would look up what your north node is in your birth chart. You can just Google it. And whatever the lesson is behind that, you're going to be victorious in that. Which for Aries, it's like leadership. It's stepping into that leading energy, feeling like you're capable as a leader, or understanding what a true leader is. You know, it's not just to dominate or whatever, but that goes perfectly with this oyster energy because sometimes we don't really feel like we're worthy of leading. Like, why would I lead, or who would listen to me? There's something about that, being victorious over your north node. So just keep that as it resonates, guys. Also with card number 10, ritual, on the bottom of the deck, you know, corn is very significant for my ancestors. Corn was like, you know, basically a currency. It was everything, and it was the lifeline of the tribe. You know, it could feed everybody. So there could be a huge legacy that's coming in, or a victory in your legacy. All right. Also with the ritual energy, it's giving me like whatever you've been ritualistic with, you've been showing up every day, you've been putting in the work every day. You know, it's like you're going to be victorious in this. Also, I'm getting with how it was in reverse at first, even though I don't pull reversals, I am getting a message that if you've been feeling like maybe if you step out of the box and you change or you switch something up, it's not going to be successful. No, it is going to be very victorious for you. Okay? But you do have a victory that is about to show up and hit that ass. All right? Let's get the last final messages here for this reading. Okay, final messages, Spirit. And also any advice that you have for Gemini gang moving forward. If you were in front of them right now, What would you say? We have the Goddess of Awakening. This is a wondrous time of exploration, romance, and creativity. Yeah, so I feel like if Spirit was in front of you right now, Spirit would say, listen, things are about to get really good, okay, in many areas. In your exploration, right? Trying new things, stepping out of the box, your romance, connections, not just romantic, but connections in general with people, but especially romance, because we did kind of pick up on that a little bit. For somebody, there's definitely a romantic connection that's popping up. And then also your creativity, you know, and allowing that creativity to be seen. This is something that is like peak right now. You're in perfect alignment for this. What else do we have for Gemini gang? Also, I'm getting here with this like star like shining down on her as she's sleeping. It's almost giving the energy of like while you're sleeping, you're getting a lot of spiritual upgrades or downloads. So pay attention to your dreams or how you feel when you wake up, okay? We have the Goddess of Psychic Protection. What you believe you create, no one can harm you. That is freaking crazy, because it's going right back to that attraction card with the lesson that some of you guys have been learning from past lives, is that you create your reality. You attract your reality. And so that's interesting. And also, again, that protection is coming through. Again, you are very protected, and Spirit would want to tell you that. Like, you are protected. And so if anybody's been trying to do any kind of like psychic, you know, attacks on you, perhaps, or maybe putting the heebie-jeebie on you. I know that doesn't resonate for everybody, but you just never know these days, okay? Spirit's saying that that's protected as well. All right, we have the Angel of Joyfulness. Something wondrous and magical is about to happen. Yes. Okay, I feel like for real, like if Spirit was in front of you right now, Spirit would be like, you have no idea, okay, how good things are about to get. If I just showed you a snapshot of your future, you'd be like, but how? How do I get from here to here? It feels impossible to have that abundant of a timeline or have that much of a quantum jump happen. But Spirit wants you to know that things are only going to get better and better for you. Something wondrous, something amazing and magical, something that you're just not expecting is about to happen for you, okay? Wow. Awesome reading. Okay, guys, that has been your reading. So I do hope it helps, hope it resonates, hope it does something. And I'll see you on the next one.